Welcome, everyone, and thank you for tuning in to hear my trading and market updates. This is Uncle Frank, and I'm not a financial advisor, nor is any of the content to be construed as financial advice. This channel is for entertainment purposes only. Please remember to hit the like button if you enjoyed the presentation, and be sure to subscribe to the channel so you're alerted when I have new information to share. So now let's get into the latest updates. Hey, welcome back, everyone. I said I wouldn't sell until the predatory short hedge funds covered in earnest, which makes me an AMC bag holder for now. I made that mistake amongst others along the way, and now I have to suffer the consequences. What you see on your screen is the hourly on AMC and the carnage that ensued over the past week following Adam and City's plan to reverse split the stock and convert APE. You know, the pounce. Today we pounce, checkmate, choke on that. To be perfectly honest, I never dreamed this would go down this way after the amazing quarter we just reported or the success of the one we're in right now. I expected a conversion between 275 and 3.25. I expected it to rise for a brief time and then drop between 10 to 15% from there. I will never tell you to buy, sell, or hold any security or cryptocurrency, but for myself, I'm left with the following choices. 1. I could sell, take a horrible loss, and invest the proceeds in something else. 2. I could do nothing and simply hold for an unknown period of time and hope that the company does well in the future and the stock price follows it up. So by doing this, I could recover some or maybe even all of my money one day and maybe even see a profit. But some may say, why throw good money after bad, right? I mean, Adam insisted on splitting the stock and converting APE in this way. He did it all without an independent vote for legacy AMC shareholders or even an annual shareholder meeting. When the company was sued for this, he paid out over $100 million of our money to settle this atrocity, and we should start seeing that settlement in the way of additional shares beginning next week. And while the company and our stock lost 70% of its value over the past 5 trading days, we didn't get a single tweet of encouragement from our fearless leader. Which brings me to choice number 3. I could do what other bag holders are forced to do when they break their own trading rules. They average down. They strategically write puts when the stock is down and premiums are inflated, and they carefully write covered calls against their position when the stock is advancing, investing any premium captured in averaging down even more when conditions allow. I will continue to support and promote the company as well. One unique aspect of AMC is shareholders can support the company in a direct and collective way, in our case very effectively, by visiting the theaters, being an A-lister, buying the retail popcorn and merchandise, and even using the branded credit card. It's a lot harder to directly support other publicly traded companies, like Boeing, for example, because most of us can't buy a 787 Dreamliner or encourage others to do likewise. I want to be clear, I will never support Adam Aron or the current board of directors after what they have done, but I will continue to support the company I own. In fact, I will do everything within my power to support any initiative to remove these individuals from their positions, expose what they have done, and will support any civil litigation for breach of fiduciary duty or criminal investigations for conspiring to commit securities fraud or any other criminal charges. I will never support any boycotts of the company in any way. That's like slapping a good mother because her kid got caught shoplifting. That's stupid, and I'm done doing stupid things, especially listening to the opinions of stupid people. I no longer consider myself an ape or part of any movement, and that's because, for now, we've lost. Adam Aron, Philip Lader of Morgan Stanley, Derek Van Zant of Citi, and to some degree Himanshu Gulati of Antara Capital sold out the interests of AMC shareholders to Wall Street interests like prime banks and brokers, predatory short hedge funds, and the regulators that refuse to regulate them. I can add to this list the DTCC and even clearing firms like Apex that they've protected in the past, making shareholders pay the price instead of the people who made outrageous short bets they couldn't possibly cover without resulting in a catastrophic event. This weekend, I enjoyed unfollowing prominent AMC-themed YouTubers that viciously supported Adam and this ridiculous scheme, and I hope to never hear from them again. At this very moment, one of them is so deceived they still think a CUSIP change will cause a MOAS. What these individuals will be forced to admit is there is no amount of DD, fundamental or technical analysis, or incoming rule change or phase that can be effective against people that can cheat, that can break securities rules and laws with impunity, that fear no retribution or consequences from regulators or the government, especially when those entities have given tacit approval for the very same illegal activities. If I were a predatory short hedge fund and a stock began to move against me, I'll just naked short more. I'll place hit pieces in the press. The CEO will issue a negative tweet to halt the momentum of the stock. The LULD committee will also strategically use halts to protect me. Dark pools will be misused to control the stock's momentum. And there's not a thing anybody's going to do about it. If you can't see that's exactly where we're at in this saga, then what possible value could your opinion hold for me? So, Uncle Frank, if you think we've lost, then why are you averaging down? Why did you buy more shares this past week, especially Friday, when we could fall even further? Well, for starters, I think the day will come when Adam and Philip later will have met their obligations to Wall Street and will resume promoting the company and its stock. I could be wrong, but I find it highly unlikely that they will just leave everything as it is right now with the shareholders on the ground bleeding from every orifice, especially with an annual shareholder meeting coming up in November. If they don't do something by then, it's going to be a riot with pitchforks and torches down there in Kansas. If I'm right, and Adam and Phil are done whoring out the company, I believe we will then see investor relations begin to share all of the company's accomplishments they've been diligently suppressing up until now. Like, how many items did we sell out on the merchandise website? How many Walmarts did we sell out of retail popcorn? How many branded credit cards did we book? We may even hear of new retail locations for our popcorn line, maybe a retailer like Costco. Even the scumbags in the financial press may start seeing us in a different light suddenly. For example, the company that has treated us unfairly for over 2 years just upgraded the stock only 2 days ago from Fintel. Wedbush upgrades AMC Entertainment Holdings. I never thought I would see that headline. And who knows, we may even see AMC executives and board members start buying the stock again after they've only sold it over the past 5 years. AMC just had an amazing second quarter. The original bet, in my opinion, was will the company go bankrupt or not? It didn't. We saved it. Then the bet was, will it ever return to profitability? It did. Now the bet seems to be, will we ever be better than our pre-pandemic levels? Anyway, our enemies, they didn't want to pay when they lost the first two bets, so they cheated. If they did pay, we would see brokers, hedge funds, clearing firms, maybe even a prime take the pipe, just like Credit Suisse. So the SEC and the DTCC helped them walk this shit over the goal line and are cleaning up the crime scene as we speak. Now, if I'm right about Adam and Phil meeting their obligations to Wall Street, then eventually all bets will be off. Hedge funds will again be responsible for their positions and will get no additional help from AMC management. I think they just proved to us that a MOAS is off the table, but no one is immune from a short covering event. Once all Adam and Citi's bullshit is done and the dust has settled, AMC is a different company. It's still the largest business of its kind in the world, with a modified and updated business model, new revenue streams, presumably much less debt, and now dirt cheap. Maybe we'll attract an Amazon, Disney, or streaming giant, because after all, if you want to bring content before a live indoor audience, you have no choice but to go through AMC. To be honest, I think the company is worth far more than the current price. I'll leave these shares to my kids before I sell at these levels or give these clowns the satisfaction. Once Adam and Phil have finally met their obligations to Wall Street, predatory short hedge funds will now face black and white swans and a third quarter that may be even better than our second quarter. Now, before we boycott AMC and declare war on whatever money we have left in this deal, please consider this headline. Summer box office revival on the path to a $4 billion milestone. From the article, as Labor Day approaches, the U.S. box office is close to reaching a key milestone, the $4 billion domestic benchmark for the summer season. This target brings the box office closer to pre-pandemic levels and builds strongly on the recovery recorded in 2022. According to the film industry adage, in the summer, blockbusters reign supreme. The summer season typically accounts for 40% of the entire year's domestic box office revenue, making it a make or break period for the box office. Don't forget, guys, this third quarter is the Barbenheimer quarter. From now on, guys, we are going to discuss the risks ahead and not just the stuff that supports our trade decisions. Here are some real risks ahead for those of us who have chosen to stick with the trade and even average down. Number one, the settlement shares will begin to hit accounts next week. That could have an impact on the stock price. Number two, we know Adam Aron is going to dilute like a petulant child, but we still don't know exactly how much or when. Number three, we are still under the threat of the writers and actors strike, and the longer it goes on, the more of an impact it will have on theaters. And finally, number four, there could be a new strain of COVID brewing, and if it's found to be capable of spreading widely, that could be a serious threat to the business again. Keep an eye on BA.2.86. Do you get it? 286? And in closing, it's official. We are still on the friggin' list of threshold securities over at the New York Stock Exchange as of Friday. These people aren't even embarrassed of their corruption in the open, but take heart. If a swan comes along to spoil the cleanup operation, it'll bring us all joy. Hey, I want to thank you for watching, and please remember to hit the like button after this slide if you enjoyed the presentation. Subscribe to the channel and set the alert so you're notified when I have new information to share. See you at the bell.